Hello, this video is showing the P2 Edge module and Simple Video Graphics Driver, outputting some text and graphics. Now, as I started, I realized that I really wanted to know what characters were available in the font I was using. And so I thought, well, that's a great idea for a demo. So I've just made this output code that just displays the character map. So it's a kind of character map viewer. It's displaying the code from 0 through to 255 and each font at that at that index. I've got well, you can see the hardware in shot there. So it's a P2 Edge 32 megabyte module, and I'm connecting out with the HDMI cable into this 7-inch parallax monitor. I'll list all the parts on screen. We can also output through a VGA connector. Perhaps I'll just show you that briefly at the end, but let me for now just switch the code, and here we go. So this is the code that you'll see that you'll be able to download. I'm not really going to go into details here. You can ask questions at our forums, you can ask questions at our Quick Bytes page, and I'll publish another video shortly with a more in-depth sort of project on how to build things with video projects. But just very briefly, if you look in here, you'll see here's your constants settings. So here you want to set up your base pin that your video cable or video accessory is connected to. So I'm using base pin 8, and then you select your format. I'm using this resolution at the moment, 640 by 480. You can choose these other options, 640 by 480, 800 by 480, or 800 by 600. That's your DVI options. And then there's some VGA options as well, 640 by 480 VGA, 800, 600, etc. So you choose your video format, and then we come down here, and all the code does in the main is calls a function called character map. You select the font that you want, and you select some colors. The colors are available with this color tag. That's denoting that it's going here, color into this file, colors 32-bit, which is provided with this download. And in there we can see all of these various color names have been predefined. You can add your own as well. It's just using HTML color codes. So you could add your own if you wanted, but these color names are just a handy shortcut. And then we've got a similar thing here, video with font medium. So I'm choosing a medium font at the minute. And again, in the video tag, it's going to here, P2 Simple Video. So we can look in that file, and it's here, font. So font small, font medium, or font large. So we could choose any one of those. And that's what we do. So we choose those fonts, and then we do nothing else. We just repeat, and we wait for 2 seconds each loop. In fact, we don't even need to have that there. But anyway, at this point, we're all done. The display is up and running, and we could do other stuff if we wanted to. So the character map function is here, and it's pretty simple. We just set a background color. It's using functions that are available in the video driver. So we set a background color, we load an image, which is just the header image. We draw a box, so that's just demonstrating how you draw a box, but the draw box command is actually drawing horizontal and vertical lines, and you could also choose to do it that way. If we look in the code here, just to bring your attention to that, the draw box function is simply drawing 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines to essentially draw, the 4 sides of the box using the parameters you've given it, X and Y and color and line thickness. So that's, if you look at this, you can learn yourself how to use directly just the draw line functions. If you just want to draw a simple line, so just copy that, and if you scroll through, you'll find somewhere the draw line functions, the actual functions, and there'll be some text there just to explain what the functions are and what the parameters are. So that is that, just to draw your attention to that possibility. And so that's draw box. And then we just pre-calculate some values that we're going to use in drawing the grid of boxes. So we just want to figure out the box width that we need. Well, that's just based on the font width that we've chosen. And then multiplied by 6 because we're going to print 6 characters. I think it's a 3-digit index, and then it's a 1-digit or 1-character, character font. But then I've got a space either side just to make it look nice. So that's a total of 6. And again, the box height we've just determined to be the font height and plus 4, so just a little bit of padding either side, so we're not ramming the font directly against the box. You might choose to do that. You can just get rid of that if you want. So we just pre-calculate some values. We calculate the origin position as well. That's just where I'm starting the grid from each time. So I wanted it to be centered on the screen. So that's what this this bit of math here is, just calculating the screen width and dividing it by 2 and just figuring out where we need to start drawing to be centered on the screen. And then Y is just down to clear the logo. So that's essentially just the height of the logo that we use plus a few pixels just to give a bit of space. Let's have a look. Where was that logo? Here. So that logo was 50 high. So just added another arbitrary 8 pixels just to make it look pretty. Give a bit of spacing. And now I've just calculated our maximum values for X and Y so that the grid doesn't run off the screen, and so it can automatically wrap onto multiple pages if we're using a font that's too large to fit on one screen. And page display is also part of that, if we need to page the display or not. And then we just have a loop. We go from 0 to 255 because they're the characters we want to show. And for each one, we just draw a box and we write the index number, and then we write the actual character using the write text function. Again, you can look in the video driver and look up how to use the write text function. But essentially, you just, for all of these functions, really, you give an X and Y coordinate, the point at which you want to start drawing from, the top left point that you want to start drawing from. And then you just give you just provide all the parameters. In this case, that's the string we're going to write, which is just a numeric string, 0 through to 255. But we've added we're using a string function to prettify the output, so it's not just going to be 0, 1, 2. It'll be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So it'll do everything padded to three digits. And then we just mention the font that we want to display, and then we have color, index color, background color, and false, that's shadow. We don't want to have a shadow, so we just leave that as false. And again, we do the same with the character. So we've used a different color there. We're calling it character color. Background color is the same, and then no shadow. So yeah, and then we just go through, we just update some coordinates based on where it is in the grid. And then if we need to page, then we wait a little bit to let you have a little bit of time to see what was on the screen. We just pause for 2 seconds basically, and then we just clear the grid by drawing a big wide horizontal line. So that's a quick way of clearing part of the screen. Instead of clearing the whole screen, we essentially draw a background color line which overwrites everything in the background color, and we start at X and Y, which is the origin point, and we draw it. The width that we want to draw it is basically the width of one line minus a little bit, because we don't want to draw over the page border. The same with the Y, we just draw it down and we deduct a little bit so we don't draw over the bottom border, but we clear the rest of the screen that way. So that's quite an easy way of drawing. You draw a big fat wide line, you just draw clear parts of the screen, and then we just loop round. If there's no page display, we've nothing else to do, we just return. Otherwise we just repeat page by page. So yeah, that's a bit of a rush through, but just to kind of point out a few things. As I say, if there's any questions, always ask at the forums. Lots of people are very happy to help, and or make comments on the QuickBytes page as well. But yeah, I think that's probably all there is to it. So let's just quickly show you a couple of things. If I pull up the video feed, so here we can see the small font. I just we'll change that to large and then reload the code, Control R, using FlexProp. So that's now uploading pretty quick. It'll be there in a minute. In fact, there it is. And yeah, so you can just see now it's paging through. So we've got, with the large font, actually not all of those characters have been defined, as I can see, but I will ask our friend Roglo from the forum, who's the video master. I believe he has a fully elaborated large font, so we'll get that into this project file before we share it to the Quick Bytes page. Let's try the small font just for fun. That might be too small for this screen, actually. Gosh, yes, yeah. You see, with that one, you perhaps want to view that on a larger monitor, but that's a very small font that you could use. I will just switch back to the medium font for now and upload that. Oh yes, and finally we just wanted to show you that VGA is well and good too. So let's just grab one of those VGA resolutions and drop it in there and try not to misspell it. And I will switch to the camera view and we'll just, just cycle that around to there, onto the VGA monitor, and I just quickly change the base pin in the code as well, because we are now connecting onto the VGA accessory, not the digital video accessory, which is a different plugged in the other side of the board. Okay, so there we go. Oh, let's just go back to the camera view. So there you go. You can see that's now appeared on the larger monitor. So VGA output works great too. So that's it. Hopefully that's useful.